The clock struck midnight as rain pelted against my bedroom window, each drop a tiny drummer announcing the storm's arrival. I wasn't supposed to be awake, but the notification from Ellie lit up my phone like a beacon in the darkness. "Are you up?" 3 simple words that carried more weight than they should. I'd known Ellie since we were 5, knew every expression, every laugh, every silence, but the tremor in her voice when I called her back made my heart sink. "My home feels empty," my best friend whispered at midnight, her voice barely audible over the storm. "I'm surrounded by everything I own, but I've never felt more alone." Those words would change everything between us. I just didn't know it yet. If you've ever felt that inexplicable emptiness despite having everything you thought you wanted, this story might resonate with you. Stay with me until the end, I promise it's worth it. And if this touches your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories that explore the depths of human connection. Ellie had always been the successful one between us. While I struggled through community college and jumped between retail jobs, she graduated with honors and landed a prestigious position at an architectural firm. Her Instagram was a carefully curated gallery of achievements: the downtown apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows, business trips to Tokyo and Paris, networking events with influential people. From the outside, her life looked perfect. I threw on a raincoat and drove across town that night, finding her sitting cross-legged on her immaculate white couch, surrounded by the trappings of success but looking utterly lost. Her apartment was a minimalist dream, everything in its place, nothing unnecessary or out of order. It was beautiful, expensive, and completely sterile. "I don't understand," she said, clutching a mug of tea that had long gone cold. "I did everything right. I followed the plan. Why does it feel like I'm living someone else's life?" The truth was, Ellie had been living for external validation for as long as I could remember. Her parents had mapped out her life before she could walk: prestigious schools, respectable career, financial independence. She had checked every box, climbed every ladder, and now stood at the summit wondering why the view felt so hollow. "When was the last time you did something just because it made you happy?" I asked her. She looked at me blankly, as if I'd asked her to solve a complex equation in a foreign language. That night marked the beginning of what we later called the Reclamation Project. It started small, a pottery class Ellie had always wanted to try but never made time for. Her first bowl was lopsided and imperfect, but the smile on her face when she brought it home was anything but. She placed it proudly on her pristine coffee table, its handmade imperfection a rebellion against the catalog-perfect space. Next came the cooking experiments. Ellie's kitchen had been for show, gleaming appliances that had never known the chaos of flour explosions or the bubbling over of an enthusiastic sauce. We made a mess. A glorious, delicious mess. And for the first time in years, I heard Ellie laugh without restraint, flour dusting her cheeks and tomato sauce splattered on her designer blouse. The changes weren't always easy. When Ellie started setting boundaries at work, leaving at reasonable hours, declining weekend projects, her boss made his disappointment clear. Her parents couldn't understand why she suddenly questioned the path they'd so carefully laid out. There were tears, doubts, and late-night phone calls where she questioned everything. "What if I'm making a mistake?" she asked me one evening, 6 months into our project. "What if this feeling doesn't last? What if it does?" I countered. "What if this is just the beginning?" The real turning point came when Ellie adopted a rescue dog, a scruffy, one-eyed mutt named Captain that no one else wanted. Her pristine apartment quickly accumulated dog toys, shed fur, and muddy paw prints. Her schedule revolved around morning walks and evening playtime. Captain didn't care about her impressive resume or her designer clothes. He just loved her, unconditionally and completely. "He needs me," she told me, watching Captain dream on her once forbidden couch. "Not what I can provide or achieve. Just me." A year after that midnight call, Ellie's home had transformed. The stark minimalism had given way to collected memories, photographs from our weekend adventures, souvenirs from trips taken for pleasure rather than business, books with dog-eared pages and coffee stains. Her walls, once gallery white, now displayed her own amateur paintings, vibrant, messy expressions of her journey. She'd scaled back at work, taking a position with less prestige but more creative freedom. Her Instagram became less curated, more authentic. She lost followers who had been there for the aspirational content, but gained a community who connected with her vulnerability and joy. "My home isn't empty anymore," she told me on the anniversary of that rainy night. "Because I finally moved in." The most beautiful part of Ellie's transformation wasn't just how she changed her space, but how she changed herself. She learned to value connection over perfection, experience over appearance, authenticity over approval. She discovered that a home isn't made of things, but of moments, memories, and the courage to be truly present in your own life. If you're watching this and feeling that same emptiness Ellie described, that sense of having everything and nothing simultaneously, know that you're not alone. The path to filling that void isn't about acquiring more, but about discovering what truly matters to you beneath the expectations and appearances. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is admit when our carefully constructed life doesn't feel like home. And sometimes the most beautiful journey is the one that leads us back to ourselves. As for Ellie and me, we still have those midnight calls. But now, instead of whispers of emptiness, they're filled with dreams, ideas, and the comfortable silence of two people who have learned that true connection is the only thing that really fills a home. If this story touched something in you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind us we're all just trying to find our way home.